Okay, it stopped for a while, but let's continue. So, after creating your grid, you could always edit it. If you're working and you see your margin is too small, you could always come back and edit it. So, we can save it so that the reason for saving it is so that when you bring a new phone screen, you don't have to start I will show you, you don't have to start individually doing it again. So here's how to save it. You can save it and call it mobile grid. So that saves it. So it's saved in this page. So let's say I want a new phone screen. So I go to phone and I choose this. Okay, let me just bring it below this one so everything's organized. And I choose this. So instead of going to layers grid and start clicking plus and start creating it all over again, there's this square box that will say apply style. So just for you to click it and you see your mobile grid, you just apply it to it so that every one of them would be consistent. So that's why it's good to save your styles in Figma. Let me shift this. Okay, so next is the tablet. So let's create a layout grid for that. So we'll do the same thing. Come here, click on columns, but we already know how to change color for just for recording purpose. That was not recording. So this is a way to change the color. You could work with any color. There are always options: green, blue, sky blue, pink, anything you want. Honestly, you could work with that. So margin is just the spacing at the edge. So for tablets we have from 48 to 64. So let's say we're working with 48, then the gota 20 is fine. 20 is fine for the gota. So that the gota will help you. Okay, I didn't explain what the gota does. So the gota will help you to know the spacing. Let's say you want to create cards, square cards. So you have this, it will show you where the line is stopping. Then you want to create another one. Create another one. So this will show you that the space, you don't need to check it, but the space between this and this is 20 because of this white. So you could click on it, hold option, click on the other one, you will see 20 by this side, by this layout side. You see that the spacing is 20. So it will help you if you want to create like six boxes or one, two, three, four, five. Okay, I've not done this. If you want to create five boxes or six boxes, it will help you determine. You don't have to necessarily start doing plus or minus. You already know the spacing between them is 20. Just like this one, I want to create four boxes. You already know the spacing between them is what spacing did we use? Let me see. You already know that the spacing between them is 12. So you don't necessarily have to start calculating it or start adding or doing any mathematics on it. So let's continue with editing this layout grid. So standardly for desktop and iPad, you could work with six, but desktop 12. So let's say we're working with six for this. So that is it. Then we can always save it in order to be consistent all through. So nothing is set on stone really. Maybe once you start working, you see that the spacing is too much, then you reduce it or you increase it. It depends. So, but the good thing is that you have saved it, and once you edit it, it will reflect in all of them. So this is tablet grid. Okay, then for this, so click on layout grid as well. Columns. There's also rows, but we'll get to that. So 12 is usually the ideal for this. So margin spans from 80, 100, 120. So it depends on what you're working on. If you're working on design that doesn't really have much information and or you could increase the margin so as to utilize your space, or if you're working with a lot of information that needs to enter horizontally, you could reduce it in order to optimize your space effectively. So that is that. Then we could always save it. But if we want to add, let's say we want to add rows to this just to determine the spacing. So basically, this is where you use center. Okay, no, we could still use stretch. I rarely use this honestly. So let's say margin is 40. So okay, I think it's center. But let me see. Wait. Okay, yeah. So for web, I know it's 800. It spans the height of 800. We could still use, okay, yeah, we use center. So the spacing between, let's say you're adding, let's still use box. You're adding box to span for spacing and let it be visible. So if you want to add another one below it, it's just to take note of the line. So the spacing between this and this is 10. So the row comes with a lot more calculation, but mostly what I use for mine is columns. But once you start designing, you figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Then you work with that. Well, let me remove this. Okay, so I would save this as desktop. Oh, so just say desktop grid. So that's it about grid. So basically, phone, tab, laptop. Any questions, or are we all understanding it? Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you following?
Yes,
You have a
yes, I
question?
am.
Okay. Okay, so moving on, let me look for our curriculum. So I've talked about grid, spacing, okay, then typography. Okay, typography is simply just the text. This T that you see here is typography, but it's more vast than that. Let's just write something. This is a design class. Okay, I will zoom in so we can see. So it's small because of we could always reset. So we have 12. We could always increase. You can increase it manually, or there are preset ones already you can choose from, and to show you how it will look like. So it's all up to you. Then we have different font types. So it depends on what you want to work with. But there are resources online, and there are ones that you use for UI designs. Because of, you could use Figma for graphics. So there's a lot of fonts that are playful. But once you start designing, you would see fonts you could use for headings. You could see fonts you could use for body text. So looking at this that I brought in, I don't know, it's very, because I copied it from the net, it's very blurry. Okay, something like this verification is called the heading, and this text underneath is called the body text, just like that. So heading, body text. So it's just to show you, and Okay, let me just use this as an example. So this is called button. I don't know if you can see it well. This is called form, button. But we'll get to that. So I just want to explain the typography thing. So there's Google Fonts. So there's something they called Google Fonts. You could go to the online and search for it, and there's a website that helps you with font pairing. Let's say you want to work with two fonts, so you could go to the website called Font Pairs, and it will compare fonts for you. I think I would share my whole screen in order to show us that. So let's see. Let me share my entire screen. And their website that will show you, depending on what you're designing. Let's say you're designing for fintech, like you're designing for bank apps, or maybe you're designing for whatever industry you're designing for, really. There are apps that show you the font that is used in those applications. Their websites, rather. So let's go to font pairing. So there's a website, font pairing. There's nothing you will not find in Google, honestly. It's just for you to search and everything will come to you. One thing about design is nothing is original in the sense. I mean, everything you want to do have been done. It's just for you to draw inspiration and figure out how to go about it. And there are things called Google fonts. So so there's wait, let me see now. I don't think this is it. Okay, so something like this now. They have paired this DM serif display and DM sans. They have paired this and this. So it depends on okay, work sans Meriwether. Let me show you what it looks like. So work sans, you could always search. So you don't necessarily have to start going to W. So this is called work sans, and it's in regular. You could see the medium, semi bold, bold, extra bold, black. Could even be italic. So Figma has those features, but let's work with medium and let's increase this a bit to 36. So let me create another version in order to help us see the other one. So what's the other one they said we should use? Meriwether. So I will search for Meriwether right now. So this is Meriwether. So in these two fonts, you see the one that is more dramatic. I think this is more dramatic. So this is what you can use as your heading. You can use this one as your body text, or you can work either way. So this is it. So it's just for you to experiment and know what you want to use. Roboto, Nonito, there are plenty uh, typefaces. So it's just when you want to start designing, you would see what works for you and what doesn't. So let's change this one to Nonito. So this is regular. So this could be your heading, this could be your body text, like that. So there's a way to create it. So Figma and UI designs mostly is more like reusing what you already created so that you have consistency. So where beginners have problem is not not being consistent in their design, because if you're not consistent, everything everything wouldn't look good. So let's say, but creating typography style is much more complicated and it might confuse a whole lot of us. So it's better practically, but I'll just show an example. So let's say you want to create there's something called plugin in Figma. It's just to help you create things. So this place I'm clicking is where you can find plugin. So this is called plugins and widgets. Anything you want to find, this is for icons, this is for images, icons. So it depends on what you want. There are plugins for it. So it's just for you to search for it. Even for wireframe, it could design that for you. It's just for you to search for it and you must certainly find it. So I'm just trying to help us create a type scale. So a type scale is to, because there are font sizes, yeah, font sizes for websites, there are font sizes for tablets, there are font sizes for mobile app. So body text for mobile app is usually between 14 and 16, but for websites it's 18, 20, 24. So it depends on what you are designing. So what you would use for websites is not what you would use. So for heading one, the main heading for website is usually up to 64, sometimes 72. But for mobile apps is 24, 32. That's like the highest because of the screen sizes. So this plugin would help you create a type scale on what to use. So basically you could only use major second 1.125. It's just for you to determine what it is you want to do, and it will create it for you. That's why I say it's more complicated and it's better off if we are working about, because most people say they don't have their system with them. So it's a bit we'll work on it maybe next class or something. So moving on, what else do we have? Color theory. Okay, we have color theory, UI pattern. Okay, I've been talking of consistency all through. So let's look at color theory. I've looked at typography. So let me use this. So okay, I will use my Google. So let's say you're working, depending on the industry you're working, there's also a way to choose color for you. There's a website. See, there's color palette generator. There's basically everything you need on the web. So it depends on, are you able to make your research and not stick to saying I know this, because for every industry and for everything you want to do, somebody else have already done it. People self, not even somebody else. People have already done it. So it's just for you to see what people have done. Well, let me accept this. So this color palette generator would help you with colors. So let's say to start, or you can explore the ones people are using though. So there are different options you could go for. But, so there's this, but let me go for the existing one, the trending one instead. So so these are trending color palettes. And with this website, I don't know if it's this website, there's a website that shows you the color that is used for different industries as well. So okay, let's say we're designing something in the agricultural sector. I think this we could use this because green is for agriculture. So let me just copy the color code. But we you can't use all the colors. You could just use two that matches. Let's say we use this and this. But there's a way we'll check. So let me just copy it. Then go to Figma. So this place there is fill. You could paste the color code, and let me paste the second one. Which one did I copy this? Okay, let's copy this and paste it. So there's something called primary color, secondary color. Okay, I'll give us a little bit of an assignment. So there's a website called Material Design. So there's something called Material Design System. So it has one, two, and three. It's from Google. So let's say Material Design 3. That's the recent one. It's Google's design system. So it will help you to it's a lot of it's a lot of things to read, but it will help you in the long run to determine how to walk around colors. So maybe you could start with material one. So this will show you that once if you have a primary color, you should have it's called background, but they use a different language. Let's say you have a primary color, this should be the background of the primary color. So maybe you're designing cards. So this is if this is the color your cards want to have, this is the background. What they call on primary is basically background in layman terms, and they'll show you how to use different how to combine the colors. See something like this. So it's a lot of materials to read. You could I don't know, you could skip it, but I mean, in the long run, it's something that is very useful that you would read. But I'll still drop the this thing. So there's something called contrast in design. So there's accessibility guidelines. So if the two colors you're choosing that would you would use on a website are not good contrast, you would have to change them. So I want to check if these two are good contrast, then we move on. There's a plugin for that as well. There's plugin for basically everything. So I just have to keep this on top of this, then get the plugin. I think contrast is the name. Yeah, that's it. It's called contrast. It will check if they are good contrast. So my network is a bit slow, so but it's loading. Okay, see, it failed. What this means is that if you're using it as normal text, if my text color is this on top of this background, it will fail. But if it's for graphics, it's okay. So probably have to choose another one. So let's choose this and see if it's good contrast, or you can basically change the color of this. Okay, so this and white works. So let me just change the color of the main one to this. Let's use this and see if it's a good contrast. So it's actually a good contrast with white. Let me see. It's still failing. So it's not good contrast. So I would have to check this out. So once the contrast is failing, it wouldn't pass accessibility check. So it's better you fix it on time. So this could work because but it can't work per se, because if it's capital letter it works, but if it's small letter it doesn't work. So I think I would there's a way to reduce it from manually. You see, it works now. So so okay, let me fix it. But it's just a little adjustment and it works. Okay, so this works. So you could use this tool in a design, not this. This is failing. So you could use this tool in a design and it will pass the accessibility. You can't combine it with white though, so it has to be this tool. Okay, so there's something called primary color, secondary color. So for this, okay, let me show us. For this design that I brought in, so their primary color is white basically, because that's what mostly all this background has. So your primary color is what your background has. Then they have this purple as their accent color. What accent color is color you use to draw attention. So you see this purple is popping up well and is drawing attention to what's happening, like cards, like buttons and all. So once you see this button, is called call to action. So this is call to action button that once you click it, it leads to somewhere else, but it's called buttons. So maybe for maybe we are designing an app, so this will be our button color, and our background could be white. So color is much. There's something called 60-30-10 theorem, that if you're using, let me show us. So we have 60, 30, 10 color theory. So it's a design principle that says use a dominant color 60%. So let me search for it well. This one is for a house, but it still applies, to be honest. I'm looking for all these design websites. Okay, yeah, this one is normal group. So honestly, whatever you're looking for, there is material to read online. So no, this is not explaining it well. But let's say, but this one is for a house, but we could still walk around it. So it just tells you that 30% should be your primary color, 60% should be your primary color, 30% your secondary color, and 10% is accent color. Accent means that you rarely use it in order not to make it more obvious. Let me change my prompt. So 60, yeah, UI design. Free code cam. So there are various articles to explain this. So it's once we are done, it's all less for us to go and read up. So for this one, her primary is 60. Her primary is white, 60%. Her secondary is this purple. Her accent is this. So it's wow. She even showed how to use it. So she put her grade. Uh, let's see. No, this is not it. She didn't use it well. Let's see. Okay, that was it. So she basically used white and this color. She barely used her secondary color. So this button is accent color. She used the accent color for things she wants people to pay attention to. So yeah. So that's it basically. What else? Let's see. So we're supposed to design a simple mobile screen. Prototyping. Okay. I would just replicate a screen for teaching purpose. Let me go to this website. So there's this website is for design inspiration. So let's look for simple website to replicate because of time. So these are existing mobile applications actually, but they copied it and pasted it here just in case you're working on, let's say, a transport app. It will just help you not to start from scratch. So that's what this website is about. So the name is Mobbing. Let's go back. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's choose this. Let me copy this. I'll just design this. Then we could generate everything. Okay. So let me copy it first. Then we'll paste on Figma. Let me confirm it's still recording. Is it? Okay. So let's head over to Figma. So we use the color we chose and our grid and our typography. So this is it. It's much more bigger. Scale it. Okay, so um, we already have our grid in place. So this number, this time and this on top, you don't necessarily have to create it from scratch. There's a way to get it from Figma or get it when developers are working, but we start with high sam. So our let me save our typography as well so it's easier for us. Should I? Saving it would no, let me not save it because saving it requires us doing a lot more and it take a lot of time. So hi Sam. Oh no, have delete to yeah. So we are using I'm sorry. We're using 36 bold. So this shows that is at the edge of this our layout. So this could go up. I just want to say let's do 64 up. Okay, hi Sam. There's search. Okay. So the way to get this is called an icon. It's just to search for it with our plugin. We could use there are different plugins for that. Sorry. But let's use there's Iconify, there's Feather icons. It depends on what you're looking for at the time. But let's use Feather icons. So I'm looking for search. Yeah. I have this. So I have to bring it in here. Then type search. So sorry. Type search. But we have to decrease it. No. So we would use still denominable, we would use regular and we would use 20. So okay. Since we are designing, there's something called auto layout in Figma. It's just to help you arrange something. So how to get to it is just if you add the two things, you could right click on your system, you see something like add auto layout, it automatically adds it. So it's from here you would start your editing. So the space between them is 27 and it's looking too much. So I can reduce it to what I want. Let's say I want to use 12 or something. So this shows that if I put it at the top, but it wouldn't show well, I would show us when it shows well. So this is okay. So it's at the edge and having corner radius. Okay. Yeah, it's a good thing we are doing this practical to help me explain more. So this is to help us create. Okay, I'll add color first so that we can see what we're doing. So add color, but let's use this our secondary color. Sorry, I'm not using my mouse. That's why this thing's skipping. So let's use this our other color. Let me see. Okay. See? So yeah, this would now show what I want to do. So I want to increase the border by the two sides. So let's say I have 16, 20. Then I want to increase it top and bottom. So let's use 10. Then to make it rounded like that, this is something called corner radius. We could work with 12. It's not as round. Then we can increase it. Let's say we do 16 or 20. We do 20. And I would compare the two after. So okay. I want to increase it by this side. So what this is called alignment stuff. So we're aligning it to the left. Let's say we align it to the center. Everything moves to the center. But if you align it to the left, it moves to the left. Align it to the right, it moves more to the right. So align it to the left, it moves to the left. If you align it down, it comes down. I see. So that's what auto layout and alignment helps you to do. So I just want to compare these two. So yeah, okay. So bring it up. It's a bit too much, but so in order to make sure these two are aligned at the center, I have two ways of doing it. I could create auto layout or I could align it through this. So this is align vertical centers, align top, align right, align horizontal centers, align left. So if I want to say align top, this will go up, or if you say center, it will come center, or you could just save yourself the stress, create auto layout. Oh, sorry, created everything. Add auto layout. See, so it's at the center. That settles it. So we have done this part. Next is to do the shop hot deals set store. So it's just the same as bringing in, just typing. So we're typing shop, right? Then you're typing to duplicate something. You do Control D, or you could do Control C, Control V, but it's just stress. So if you do Control D to duplicate it, so we have hot deals. So this is hot deals. What else do we have? Set store. So we also need sorry. We also need an icon again. So please, if you have a question, please feel free to ask me because I'm not looking at the, or if you're not hearing me or something. So let's say we want to decrease this. So just to click on here so that it will decrease it both width and height and not just one place. So let's say we want to work with 20. Yeah. So as always, we add auto layout. So it will come to the center. It's 12. Let's say we want it to be 8. There's a lot more editing that comes in with this, but we'll work with this for now because of time. Because we would have done grayscale and not like them black like this. So this 36 is too much. So let's say they are it's 24. So we'll also add auto. So I'm trying to copy what they did here. So there's a big space here and a lot of space here. So we could still decrease this to 20, then add another auto layout with this so that all of them are in an auto layout. So there's green under, but our own will be our main color. And beyond that, there's a line. So there's a line under, and then there's a line in shop, only just in shop. So we could do this manually by adding a line. I think we should do the line part because if I do it with auto layout, it's much more advanced for us. So let me just use line for now. So drop it, then draw it to the spot. So you could always check here. So it's not straight. So do it zero, it becomes straight. So this is our line. Yeah. It's too thick, it's too dark. So this is a way to edit the color, work on the color. Then under shop, we have something like a rectangle. So you can take this up a bit. Okay, so we could create a rectangle here. Yeah, there's a rectangle under shop. I'm not with my mouse, that's why. And me and trackpad. I'll reduce this. It's not a problem. So I can reduce the height here. Let me see, 6. And then let me choose the color. So there's something called drop. Um, there's a way I can copy this color here. So it's just to click on this fill part. There's this eyedropper tool. It's called eyedropper tool to sample color for you. So once I pick it, I can choose any color of my choice. I can even choose color from this design I picked. So if you see a color you like and you want to use it for your design, just for you to copy it, copy and paste in Figma file. So but we'll use this. So it has pasted it on here. So it's just to move it up. So in order to make this not move a lot, I would group it. So there's a way to group. This is called group. So I'll group it. Whenever I'm moving one, I'm moving the other. So that's what grouping does. So I will not be moving them one by one. And you can always edit this one even though you have moved it. So even though you have grouped it, sorry. Why did it change? Sorry. Oh, this is outside. Okay. Let me group now. Okay, so grouped. What next? What next? This image. So normally we could get our, so it's a fitness some sort kind of image. So I would draw a rectangle, or we could draw a frame, anyone you want, that spans across the screen. Let's say our, then let this be our own size. So there's a plugin called Unsplash. They also have a website that you could get an image. You can also get an image from Freepik. So but let's use Unsplash and just look for, we don't necessarily have to use the same image, we just have to look for an image and then work around that. Okay, so would, let's say exercise, let's see what it brings up. But you could be more straight to the point. You could just say female exercising. Oh, I like this, but it's not very bright, so we need something brighter. So let's use this, or we could still find more. Let me see how it looks. Okay, not bad. Not bad, honestly. There are tons you could choose from. Ooh, could use this. Let me see, researching. Maybe we'll use what I have right now. Or we could use this. So there's a way to edit image. There's something called fill. There's something called crop. So because the image is very long, and this is the box I have, so Figma automatically sets it. So the best thing is to do is I want to see their head, so I can move it down. You see, I can move it up. I can move it around however I want. No, but I can't move the sides because it's set. Ouch. Okay, so I can move it up a bit. Okay, this is okay. I think this is okay. Oh, let's work with this. Let me say this. So my network is a bit slow. That's why it's taking time to reflect. So it works with data. That's why. Maybe I could just leave this one. It's taking a lot of time, so let me just leave this one. Let me close it. It's not closing. My network is a bit poor. Ooh. So he created it on his own. So I think I even prefer the. No, no, no. Okay, let me go back. What I did was Control Z is just to undo what I have done. So Control Z to undo, Control Y to redo. I think this first one at first. And there's something else you could do of some sort. So let's say I want to see how this thing will look in a real phone. So there's this place called prototype. So I could choose the kind of device I want to see. So our device is iPhone 14, right? Yeah, 390. Uh, Let me go back to design tab. So this is, see how you check. This is 390. So it's just for me to click here in this play part. I just hope you're seeing my arrow, my cursor. So I'll now do preview. So it will show me how it will look on a phone screen. So it also helps me in choosing. It also helps in choosing image. So maybe you would see how it looks on a phone screen. It will help you choose your image and how it will look like once the developer does it. So that's what basically at this level, that's what you would use prototype for. But as we advance, we could use prototype for other stuff. I'm sorry, my network is a bit slow. It should be faster than this, to be honest. But it's my network. But let me continue. Whenever it loads, so there's this your goals, your gear, accelerate your fitness journey with these essentials. Okay. Then another button, yeah, ensure by category. We're almost done. Okay, so this is how it to look like on an iPhone, but the image is still loading. It's network, not honesty. It's network. My network is a bit. Let me remove this. My network is a bit slow. That's why it's taking time to load. Okay, yeah, here we go. So I like it because it's kind of like overlapping to this. I mean the top. So you could always edit your image though. You could add gradients. There's a way to add image from here. If you have image in your computer, it's just for you to upload from here. You could walk around this, and this will help you see how it will look like. But this is how it is normally. can make it like this. I think I prefer this. Then contrast, so it all depends on you and if you want to touch up on your image. So yeah, so let's continue. So I don't necessarily have to close this. I could just see how my design is looking as I'm working with it. So this, so they have a little black frame, but let's just increase our width a bit, our height a bit. So your goals, your gear. So I would, okay, let me get a frame. In order for this to be black, I can move this around actually. So let me move it. Get a frame. You can draw a normal frame. So I'll just draw a frame. Let me see, it spans out the whole width. So draw a frame and make it dark. I'll move it up to overlap with this. So I'll fill it. So I'll add a dark color. So let's say something like this. But it needs to go up. So let's say I've not chosen yet, but let's say this. Let's work with this. Then your goals, your gear. So text. So it's a bit very big. So your, and it's bold. Your goals. Stop your gear. Okay. So once consistency, this one is 36 bold. So what will make this one 36 bold as well. So everything is consistent. So bold, then we do 36. So we are saying it's a bit very big. So we might have to reduce it in the long run. So I want it to be 16 because 16, if I check, is 19. 16 is the stuff for this. So let me see gears. Okay, your goal, your gear, and I need to reduce it. It's too much. So let's say 32. But let me, it's your goal, your gear. It's a bit much still. So let me reduce it to 28. Okay, yeah, perfect. So what else do they have? Accelerate your fitness journey with these essentials. So I want to copy this text. I'll still edit it, but I want to copy it. Just Control D. So accelerate your fitness journey with what? So uh so this, let me explain this layout part. So this shows us it has to be auto width, like straight. This auto height. So even without me doing this, let me take it back to auto width. So once I use my cursor to crop it, it automatically enters auto height. So once you touch it horizontal, like once you edit the text or the length of the text, it will change to auto height. So I'll still reduce the text to accelerate your fitness journey with these essentials. Let me just type everything. So I'll reduce it. So reduce it to 16. Need to be regular actually. And let's do 18. Okay. So I'm an auto layout kind of person, so I will add auto layout to fix the space between the two. So let's do 8 as the space. Then we still need to add two buttons, all fitness topics. So there's something we can do. Instead of using this dark color, we could use our primary, our major color. It will show here actually, but we can still pick it to be 100% sure that it's here. We pick it. Then these our buttons will now be white. Yeah, we could do white or we could do our normal, the other color, since this is for graphics. So we have, let me use this. I'll just copy this. because I don't want to start creating a new one since I already have one here. So I'll just copy and paste here. So Control V. I did Control C, so Control V to paste. I'll just have to move it around. No. So let me see how they are. Okay, same. All fitness is just I have to make this whole content so that they'll be at the center. So I'll delete this icon, it's not needed. So we have all fitness. We have all fitness. Okay, the F is, but we could leave that. And we have topics. Okay, those are the two we have. Control D, just so I'll just let me type topics first, then I'll add auto layout to the two to fix the spacing. So this, so we have the good thing about working with this prototype is to help you show you how it will look on the website. So you do all your editing straight up. So um their spacing is 13. I want to increase it a bit so they'll have more breathing space. So 20 is fine. And then you see this frame, there's tight spacing under, so I can increase it. Yeah. So this thing will help you gauge it. So it's 24, 24, 24 up, 24 below. So I'll add auto layout as well to fix the spacing. So the spacing is 17. I want to increase it to like 20. Then I want to decrease this one a bit. So it will be like the two are together. Then I might actually increase this. It's not looking. So let's do 24. Yeah, then I have to increase this frame again because it's looking weird. The top and the bottom are not the same. So once I'm increasing it to show me when to stop. Oh, it's not okay, it's showing. So we have 24. So that's it. Looking good. Oh, my battery. So what we have left is just this. So let's just stop here for today. Any questions, please? Hello, can you hear me? I hope this is still recording. Okay, it is.
Yes, we can hear you.
So any question, comments, observation?
My comments, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, I don't have a question. I want to thank you for the class.
Oh,
My comment is just that you really explained it in a way that was quite easy. And I
thank
believe that going through the recording and throughout the week, I'll be able to do something wonderful. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
God
welcome.
bless
Thank
you.
you too. Okay, that's nice. So if you have any question when you are working on it, just do this simple design. And our design track is more of hands-on. So some design boot camps will focus more on theory, but I believe practical is more you learn by practicing. So for now, we'll do more of practical in each of our classes. So if you can, please on next week Saturday, I don't know if I will, but we'll see how that goes. But some people have told me that they don't have their system is faulty. So, but if you have a system, or even those that have systems that are faulty, if you have a system you could use, you don't necessarily have to install Figma on the person's laptop. You could just create an account on the web like this. So once you go to Figma, you could work on the web. It's just for you to log in. But if it's your own system, you install it so that you could work on it when you don't have data. As long as your Figma is open, you can always work on it once you don't have data. So okay, so that's all for today. I will share the recording cut off at some point at the beginning, but all through this it did not cut off. So I will share the recording once we are done. So in the absence of any questions, let's call it a day. All right, guys.
All
I'll
right.
see you.
Thank you.
All
God
right.
bless you.
See you on Saturday. Bye.